Let's start with a truth that might be difficult to hear. Everything you think you know about weight loss, about that feeling of being in a groove with your diet, might be a complete lie. You wake up, you step on the scale, and you see the number has dropped. You feel lighter, your clothes fit a bit better, and you think to yourself, yes, I'm finally burning fat. But what if I told you that in that very moment of celebration, you are almost certainly not burning a single meaningful ounce of your stored body fat? What if that weight loss, that feeling of success, is almost entirely an illusion created by your body burning through its most accessible but least important fuel source, carbohydrates? This is the single biggest misunderstanding in the entire fitness and wellness industry. And it's the reason why millions of people hit a wall, why they plateau, why they feel like they are doing everything right. But the stubborn fat around their belly, their thighs, and their arms just will not budge. They are trapped in the carb burning zone, a metabolic state that feels like progress, but is actually preventing them from ever reaching their true fat loss potential. The scale is a liar, and it's time you learn how to read the real signs your body is giving you. The human body is a dual fuel engine. It can run on carbohydrates, which are like kindling. They catch fire quickly and burn hot and fast, but they don't last long. Or it can run on fat, which is like a massive, dense log on a fire, providing slow, steady, and long-lasting energy. The problem for most people is that their body is so conditioned, so addicted to using the quick and easy kindling that it never even thinks to reach for the logs. You are constantly feeding it carbs, from your morning toast and orange juice to your midday pasta salad and even the healthy granola bar in the afternoon. Your body has no reason to go through the slightly more complicated process of unlocking your fat stores when there's a constant, easy stream of sugar coming in. So, how can you possibly tell which fuel you're using? The first and most deceptive sign is rapid water weight loss. When you first start a diet, especially a low-calorie one, the initial drop on the scale is dramatic. You can lose 3, 4, even 5 pounds in the first week. This feels incredible, but it's not fat. Carbohydrates are stored in your muscles and liver in a form called glycogen. For every gram of glycogen your body stores, it holds on to about 3 to 4 grams of water. When you reduce your calorie or carb intake, your body burns through its glycogen reserves for energy. As it does so, it releases all that stored water. You are literally peeing out the water weight that was bound to your carb stores. It's a one-time dump, and it creates the illusion of massive progress. But once that glycogen is depleted, the easy weight loss is over. The real work, the actual fat loss, has to begin. But most people never make the switch because they don't know how. They see the slowdown on the scale, get discouraged, and go back to their old eating habits. At which point the body quickly restocks the glycogen, sucks all that water back in, and the weight snaps right back on. This is the brutal, demoralizing yo-yo cycle. And it all starts with not understanding the difference between burning carbs and burning fat. If you're tired of this cycle, if you're ready to learn the real secrets to unlocking your body's true fat-burning potential, then you are in the right place. Make no mistake, this is the most important video you will watch all year. Hit that subscribe button and tap the like button right now, because what you're about to learn will change everything you thought you knew about your body. Stick with me, and I will show you exactly how to cross the bridge from being a sugar burner to becoming a fat-burning machine. So, you understand now that the initial weight loss is a mirage, but the question remains, what does it actually feel like to be a carb burner? How can you diagnose your own metabolic state without a fancy lab test? The signs are everywhere, and once you know what to look for, they become glaringly obvious. The most common symptom of a body that is chronically dependent on carbohydrates is the dreaded energy roller coaster. You eat a meal, maybe a nice sandwich with a bag of chips and a soda, and for about an hour, you feel great, you're full, you're focused, you're energetic. But then, like clockwork, about 2 to 3 hours after that meal, a wave of fatigue hits you. Your brain gets foggy, you feel irritable, you struggle to concentrate, and all you can think about is your next hit of food. preferably something sweet or starchy. This is not a lack of willpower. This is a biochemical reality. That meal was loaded with carbohydrates, which your body rapidly broke down into glucose and sent into your bloodstream. Your pancreas responded by secreting a large amount of the hormone insulin to shuttle that glucose out of your blood and into your cells for energy. The problem is the speed and the volume. You flooded your system, causing a massive spike in blood sugar, followed by an equally massive spike in insulin. Insulin is a very effective storage hormone. It gets the job done quickly, but it often works too well, overshooting the mark and driving your blood sugar down too far, too fast. This sharp drop in blood sugar is called hypoglycemia, and it's the direct cause of that shaky, hangry, low energy feeling. Your brain, which runs primarily on glucose, is suddenly starved for fuel, and it sends out emergency signals. Eat now, find carbs, save me. And so you reach for a cookie, a coffee with sugar, another piece of bread, and the whole cycle starts again. You are on a metabolic hamster wheel, eating every few hours just to maintain a baseline of energy, never able to go long without food. This is the absolute hallmark of a carb burner. A true fat burner, in contrast, has smooth, stable energy all day long. They can easily skip a meal without turning into a monster because their body has seamless access to its vast, stable energy reserves, body fat. They don't experience those dramatic crashes because fat, when burned for fuel, provides a slow, steady trickle of alternative fuel molecules called ketones, which are incredibly efficient for the brain and body. Another telltale sign is constant hunger. If you find yourself feeling genuinely hungry, stomach growling hungry, every 3 to 4 hours, your body is telling you it has run out of its easily accessible carb fuel and needs a refill. It's screaming for more kindling because it doesn't know how to light the log. If you had access to your fat stores, that hunger would be muted or even non-existent for many hours. Furthermore, think about your exercise. Do you feel like you absolutely must have a sports drink or a banana to get through a workout? Do you bonk or hit the wall during endurance activities? This is another classic sign of carb dependence. Your muscles, accustomed to running on glycogen, have depleted their stores and have no metabolic flexibility to tap into your fat reserves. You are a slave to your next carb fix during your workouts and throughout your day. Recognizing these patterns in yourself is the first and most crucial step toward breaking free from them. You are not broken. You are simply metabolically inflexible, and that is a state that can be changed. Now that we've painted a very clear picture of what it means to be stuck burning carbs, let's dive into the actual mechanics of how you make the switch. How do you convince your body to finally stop reaching for the kindling and start chopping up the logs? The answer lies in understanding the master hormone of fuel storage, insulin. I mentioned insulin before as the hormone that manages blood sugar, but its role is so much more profound than that. Insulin is not just a sugar manager, it is a fat storage lock. When insulin is present in your bloodstream, which it almost constantly is in a carb-heavy diet, it sends a powerful signal to your fat cells. Hold on tight. Do not release any fat. It literally inhibits a process called lipolysis, which is the breakdown of fat for energy. Think of your fat cells as a massive savings account. Insulin is the bank manager who has locked the vault. You can make deposits easily. Any excess energy gets converted to fat and stored, but you cannot make a withdrawal. As long as you are eating frequently and consuming carbohydrates, you are keeping your insulin levels elevated and you are keeping the vault locked. This is the fundamental reason why you cannot burn fat, even if you are in a calorie deficit. You might be forcing your body to use energy, but with the vault locked, it can't access its savings. It will instead turn to other sources. It will burn through the glycogen in your liver and muscles, and if that runs out, it may even start breaking down precious muscle tissue for glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. Your body will do almost anything, including cannibalizing its own muscle, before it will effectively break down body fat in a high insulin environment. So, the key to unlocking the fat-burning vault is to lower your insulin levels, period. This is the non negotiable biochemical key to the kingdom. When insulin levels drop and stay low for a sustained period, the lock on the fat cells is released. Hormones like glucagon and adrenaline can then signal the fat cells to release their stored triglycerides into the bloodstream, where they can be transported to the muscles and organs to be burned for fuel. This is the metabolic shift we are after. How do you achieve this? The most direct and powerful lever you can pull is your carbohydrate intake. By significantly reducing the amount of carbohydrates you eat, you remove the primary stimulus for insulin secretion. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to go full-blown keto, although that is one very effective path. It means being ruthlessly honest about the sugars and starches in your diet, the bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, cereals, and of course, all sugary drinks and desserts, and drastically cutting them back. Replace them with foods that have a minimal impact on insulin. This is where high-quality proteins and healthy fats come in. A grilled chicken breast, a piece of salmon, a couple of eggs, an avocado, some olive oil, a handful of nuts. These foods cause a much smaller insulin release compared to a bowl of pasta or a slice of cake. By building your meals around a protein source, healthy fats, and non-starchy vegetables like leafy greens, broccoli, and peppers, you provide your body with essential nutrients while keeping insulin low, thereby unlocking the door to your fat stores. This is not just a theory, it is a physiological certainty. The moment you commit to lowering your carbs is the moment you stop feeding the carb-burning fire and start forcing your body to learn a new, more efficient skill. Making the decision to lower your carbs and insulin is the strategic move, but the transition itself is a physical process, and it comes with a set of very specific, very telling symptoms that most people misinterpret and use as an excuse to quit. This phase is often called the low-carb flu or keto flu, and understanding it is critical to pushing through to the other side. When you dramatically reduce your carbohydrate intake, your body goes through a period of metabolic confusion. For years, even decades, it has relied on a steady stream of glucose. Suddenly, that stream has been reduced to a trickle. Your body hasn't yet figured out how to efficiently produce ketones from fat or ramp up gluconeogenesis to make the glucose your brain still minimally requires. During this adaptation period, which can last from a few days to a couple of weeks, you may feel pretty terrible. You might experience headaches, fatigue, brain fog, irritability, dizziness, muscle cramps, and intense cravings for carbohydrates. This is the moment of truth. Most people feel this way and think, this is unhealthy. My body needs carbs. I'm losing muscle. This is wrong. And they immediately reach for a piece of bread or a sugary snack, which provides immediate relief but slams the vault door shut on their fat cells, resetting the entire adaptation process. They never break through to the other side. What's actually happening during this flu is not a sign of damage, but a sign of change. Your body is dumping excess water and electrolytes, like sodium and potassium, as it depletes glycogen. This flushing out of electrolytes is the primary cause of the headaches, dizziness, and cramps. The fatigue and brain fog are due to your brain experiencing a temporary fuel shortage before it becomes fully adept at using ketones. The cravings are your body's last-ditch effort to get you to return to the familiar fuel it knows how to use. The solution is not to quit, but to support your body through this transition. You need to be intentional about hydration and, most importantly, electrolyte replenishment. This isn't just about drinking more water. You need to add more salt to your food. Yes, salt, and consider eating potassium-rich foods like avocados and spinach, and magnesium-rich foods like nuts and dark chocolate, or even taking a supplement. A cup of bouillon broth can work wonders for a headache almost instantly. This phase is temporary. If you can power through it, supporting your body with electrolytes and staying committed to low-carb, high-fat nutrition, you will emerge on the other side. This is when you start to experience the true benefits of being a fat burner. The steady energy, the mental clarity, the disappearance of the afternoon slump, and the profound reduction in hunger. You will find you can go hours, even a full day, without food and feel perfectly fine, even energetic. This is metabolic freedom. Your body is no longer a slave to your next meal. It is confidently and efficiently burning your own body fat for fuel 24 hours a day. The scale might move more slowly than it did during the initial water weight dump, but now every single pound you lose will be a pound of actual stored fat. You have the knowledge. You understand the difference between the deceptive carb burn and the genuine fat burn. You know the signs of being metabolically inflexible. You grasp the locking power of insulin, and you are prepared to navigate the adaptation phase. So now let's talk about the ultimate goal. How do you know for sure that you have successfully made the switch and are now burning fat? Beyond the subjective feelings of stable energy and reduced hunger, there are more concrete, almost magical signs that your body has become a fat adapted machine. One of the most remarkable is the change in your breath and body odor. As your body shifts into a primary fat burning state, the liver produces ketones, and one of them, acetone, is a volatile molecule that is expelled through your breath and sweat. It often smells fruity or like nail polish remover. While this can be a bit socially awkward, it is a fantastic, tangible biomarker that you are in a fat burning state. This is usually temporary and fades as your body becomes more efficient at using ketones. But in the beginning, it's a clear sign you're on the right track. Another profound change is the complete transformation of your relationship with food. Cravings, especially for sugary, processed junk food, will virtually disappear. You will walk past a plate of donuts in the office break room and feel nothing. It won't be a battle of willpower. It will be a simple lack of desire. Your hunger hormones, ghrelin, will become far less screechy, and you will experience a deep, reliable sense of satiety after your meals. You will eat until you are full and then simply not think about food for many hours. This is the peace that every chronic dieter is searching for. Furthermore, you will notice a dramatic improvement in your physical performance and recovery. After you push through the initial adaptation period, your endurance will skyrocket. You will no longer bonk during long workouts because you are no longer reliant on limited glycogen stores. You are running on the virtually limitless energy of your own body fat. Even a very lean person carries tens of thousands of calories of stored fat, enough to fuel multiple marathons back to back. Your body will also become incredibly efficient at repairing itself. Inflammation will plummet, joint pain may ease, and your skin might even clear up, all because you have removed the primary inflammatory driver from your diet, excess sugar, and refined carbohydrates. This is what it means to be truly healthy from the inside out. You are no longer fighting your biology. You are working with it. You have given your body the tools to regulate itself, to tap into its own abundant energy reserves, and to function at its peak. The journey to get here requires patience and a willingness to unlearn everything you've been told about low-calorie dieting and willpower. It requires you to ignore the lying scale for the first few weeks and focus instead on these non-scale victories, the steady energy, the mental clarity, the conquered cravings, and the newfound metabolic freedom. You are no longer a slave to the carb cycle. You have become a fat-burning machine. Now, this information is powerful, but knowledge without action is meaningless. You have a choice to make right now. You can close this video and go back to the way things were, to the energy crashes, the constant hunger, and the frustration of stalled progress. Or you can make a decision that will change your life. Start today. Clean out your pantry. Get rid of the sugary snacks, the processed carbs. Go to the grocery store and stock up on real whole foods, meat, fish, eggs, green vegetables, and healthy fats. Commit to a 2-week experiment of drastically lowering your carbs. Experience the transition for yourself and push through to the other side. You have nothing to lose except the fat. If you found this deep dive valuable, if you feel like you finally understand the why behind your struggles, then do me a huge favor. Share this video with one person you care about, a friend, a family member, a colleague who is also fighting this same battle. Let's spread this truth and help others break free. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell because we are just getting started. We're going to dive even deeper into specific meal plans, workout strategies for fat adaptation, and how to maintain this lifestyle for the long haul. Your transformation starts now. I'll see you in the next video.